Welcome to the Pre-Snap Podcast presented by LineStar, your top player prop bets for Thursday night football between the Buffalo Bills and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Alongside Tyler Wiemann, I am Shannon Sommerville. Tyler, we got some good props for everybody. Last week in week 7, we were 9 of 14 on our picks. On Monday night's show, we were 2 of 3. We just missed going 3 for 3. And for those of you that are new to the show, if we hit all 3 of our props, one randomly selected commenter will win $50. So make sure that you comment below and like this video and subscribe to our channel as well so you can keep up with all the content we've got coming out, because we've got NBA, we've got daily fantasy for NBA. Tyler's coming out with all of his advice shows, so you gotta want to stay tuned for that. And just a lot of content coming out of the LineStar YouTube channel. So make sure you are subscribed. And it also helps us in the algorithm department so that we can keep giving out these fire picks from the LineStar app. If you haven't checked out LineStar, go ahead and do so, LineStarApp.com. We're using the PropsAI tool to find the best value in the prop market. And our picks are available at places like Underdog Fantasy, PrizePicks, Sleeper, and CHALKBOARD. If you don't have those apps, download them. Use that promo code LineStar for up to $100 of your deposit match. All right, business taken care of. Let's get to the business of Thursday Night Football Week 8. We've got the Buffalo Bills as 8.5-point home favorites in this one, although they've had a very roller coaster of a season, I think, is the best way to describe it. You had a season starting off with a loss to the Jets. You know I had to throw that one in there, Tyler. And then last week, a loss to the Patriots, who looked absolutely horrible through the first couple weeks of the season with a real lack of offense there. So just kind of seems like a very inconsistent team. You also had that loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars as well in there. So they haven't really looked like the Buffalo Bills we were expecting. However, they have been dealing with a ton of injuries. In fact, Buffalo Bills lead the NFL in salary cap percentage on injured reserve right now. So you got that to take care of. Then for the Tampa Bay Bucks, they started off the year kind of impressive. Baker Mayfield putting on a show, but really over the last couple of weeks, they just haven't been able to score points. What is your initial impression of this matchup?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting spot. Coming into the year, we would have thought Buffalo would be just wiping the floor with Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay, like you said, they've been playing a little bit better than we thought they would. It still is a game where Buffalo should win this and should win it handily. They are the far superior team.
Yeah.
But they still got to figure out some things for this year.
They absolutely do, especially with some of those injuries that we talked about. But for our props department, we've got some good picks for you and some edge that we have found on the PropsAI tool. Again, that is available on the LineStar app. So we will give out 3 picks. The first pick is going to be from LineStar, and then Tyler and I will give our best bets. And then we will wrap things up with our anytime touchdown calls. Plus, we'll also give you which way we are leaning in terms of a side. All right, let's get to it. First pick is going to be Dalton Kincaid, the Buffalo Bills rookie tight end, over 36.5 receiving yards. Now, Kincaid just had a career high in targets, catches, and receiving yards. He had 75 receiving yards last week against the Patriots and could be in for a breakout game. He is averaging just over 32 receiving yards per game, but Dawson Knox, the starting tight end, is going to miss some time. He's dealing with a wrist injury, and reports indicate he will undergo surgery for that. So he is out, and Dalton Kincaid going to take that spot. Now, Tampa Bay's been pretty good against opposing tight ends. However, 3 of 6 have gone over that mark. And with Dalton Kincaid, he came into this season with a lot of hype for this guy, and it was going to be interesting to see how they utilize him in the offense. I think now is the point in the season when they could really start to take the training wheels off Dalton Kincaid. What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, generally what we see is rookies get better throughout the year. Now, Dalton Kincaid, clearly has his opportunity with Dawson Knox out. And Kincaid is much more of a receiving tight end than he is, a blocking tight end. So when he's out there, he should be running routes. And the Tampa Bay defense is a pass funnel. It allows guys to pass on them. So I think Kincaid will be the short yardage target.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking over some of the tight ends and how they've done against Tampa Bay, we got Kyle Pitts put up 47. Laporta was 36, so right at that line. Goddard 41, Kmet 38, and TJ Hawkinson at 35. Dalton Kincaid certainly has the ability to hit the over in this one, and we could start to see the Bills offense try to start to utilize him even more than they did last week, even maybe even go higher than his career numbers last week against the Patriots. All right, next up, Tyler, you and I are giving our best bets for Thursday Night Football. My pick on Monday Night Football, I was sweating it out, man, because I had Alexander Madison under rushing yards, and the first quarter, man, it looked like that thing was dead, buried, gone. He had probably 30 rushing yards in like the first quarter, but then non-existent really the rest of the game. So we were in the all clear with that one. So that was an interesting one to kind of sweat out there in that Monday night game. So where are you headed this week, Tyler?
Yeah, that was hilarious because we were texting each other going like, all right, he's at 35 yards. But, I think I text like, hey, the thing is, like, it's probably toast, but he probably has 10 more carries for 20 yards, and we barely lose it. But turns out where he didn't have that many more carries. Cam Akers got a lot more work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
And yeah. So, all right. So back to this game. My pick for this week, Stephon Diggs over 85.85 or 85.5 receiving yards. He's averaging almost 97 yards a game. And this Tampa Bay defense has just been giving it up to wide receiver ones. They've absolutely been crushed versus them. And I think they do again. Stephon Diggs is one of the best receivers in the game. They gave 124 yards up to Amon-Ra St. Brown, 131 to A.J. Brown, 104 to DJ Moore, 150 to Justin Jefferson, and Diggs is in the same echelon as all of those guys. So I think he's in line for a big day.
Yeah, 5 games with over 100 receiving yards for him. The offense has been a little bit inconsistent for the Bills, but he has been consistent. I know, in the offseason there was all that talk about Stephon Diggs. Is he unhappy with the way things are going in Buffalo? But things look just fine for him in his spot, and especially for this prop. I love the over here, too, on that Stephon Diggs prop. All right, for mine, though, I'm going to the other side. I'm going Tampa Bay Bucks wide receiver Mike Evans, over 60.5 receiving yards. Evans is averaging 78, and he's gone over that mark in 3 of 6 games. LineStar's projection for him is about 68.5 receiving yards. Where Buffalo has been struggling is against opposing wide receiver ones. They rank 30th in pass defense DVOA versus opposing teams wide receiver one. That's basically taking a measurement of like the quality of the opponent that they've faced. And they've just really struggled, specifically since cornerback Tre'Davious White went out. Since then, all 3 wide receiver ones they've faced have gone over that mark. When you look back, Kendrick Bourne had 63, Darius Slayton 69, Calvin Ridley 122. Mike Evans is absolutely a guy that can go off in this matchup, and I like his matchup here. The Bills' defense has just been kind of reeling with all of those injuries. Matt Milano out, Daquan Jones, they're just struggling on defense a little bit, and I think that Mike Evans is in a good spot here to clear that number. I think it's just a little bit low for him, given especially his average at 78. So I like Mike Evans there, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Overall, I'm a little worried about that offense, but Mike Evans has been delivering, I know, for a lot of fantasy owners this season. So we'll side with Baker Mayfield, see he gets it done a little bit in this game. But for the most part, I do like that Stephon Diggs one more and more. The more I think about it here, Tyler, I really like that prop. So good pick there. All right, now let's get to our touchdown calls of the game. Tyler, where are you going for an anytime touchdown in this Thursday night contest, week 8?
Well, you said you like the Stephon Diggs call, and we're going back to it. Stephon Diggs is my touchdown call. It's minus 125 in sportsbooks. He has 6 TDs on the year. Tampa Bay has absolutely been torched by wide receiver ones, and it's going to be no different with Stephon Diggs. Tampa Bay has actually been decent about keeping wide receiver ones out of the end zone, but I think we're due for some regression here, and Diggs gets in.
Yeah, that's Josh Allen's guy. Anytime they're in the red zone, you got to watch out for Stephon Diggs. You also got to watch out for James Cook. That's where I'm headed for my anytime touchdown. I like the value here, plus 140 for an anytime touchdown. James Cook can do it both ways, rushing and receiving yards. He has 2 touchdowns on the year, 8 red zone tries over the last 4 weeks, and he's a top 10 running back in yards per carry. So makes the most when he's given opportunity. Now, Tampa Bay has the lowest opponent red zone scoring percentage in the league, so it's a little bit tougher of a matchup for him. But I like that he's getting more and more involved in this offense, and they seem to be trusting him more and more specifically in the red zone. So I like James Cook here. It's also Georgia-Florida week, and this is a former Bulldog, so we got to go with the former Bulldog, James Cook, for an anytime touchdown. You know I had to incorporate that in there, Tyler. Had to get my Jets in, check, and Georgia Bulldogs, check, check, check. Just my teams. Repping for the teams here. All right, let's take a look at this overall matchup. Are you leaning one way or the other in terms of this spread at 8.5 in favor of the Buffalo Bills?
I gotta go to the Bills here. They're at home. You know, they've struggled all year and struggled covering, but I think they got to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, when you're looking at this spot for the Tampa Bay Bucks, this is a tough spot for them. They just lost to the Falcons, only put up 13 points in that game. Now going up to Buffalo, tough place to play. Those fans crazy jumping and breaking tables up there. That's not an easy place to play for sure. So I think Buffalo's in a great spot. I think they're going to be very motivated after that brutal loss to the Patriots to just bounce back, show everybody why we all basically picked them as preseason favorites to go to the Super Bowl. And I think we'll start to see some of that. Josh Allen, I know that their offense has just been a little weird. I think they get it together. This is a great spot for them to do so. I know Tampa Bay has a good defense. However, I like Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. They get right. I think they get back on track this week. Week 8 Thursday Night Football. I know it's a lot of points, and we've seen a lot of crazy games, especially over the last week we saw on Monday Night Football, right? The Vikings, I thought for sure Tampa Bay got this one in the bag. They did not, Tyler. But you actually, I got to give you credit for that one because you kind of were leaning a little Vikings in that one. Good job, Tyler.
Yeah, I mean, we had Trent Williams out. We had Debo out. You know, those are 2 very key spots to the offense, and it definitely showed that offense was not looking quite as good as it usually does.
I was, going hard at Kirk Cousins on the show on Monday, so, hey, got to eat my words a little bit today, but... All right. For more information, make sure to check out LineStarApp.com so you can dominate in fantasy and in prop betting. The PropsAI tool is there for you to use, LineStarApp.com. And again, do us a huge favor, like this video, subscribe to our channel, comment below. If we hit all 3 of our prop bets, one randomly selected commenter will win $50, so make sure you're entering into that contest. We love our comments. Also, let us know where you're headed in picks because we all help each other out. I've taken a couple of our commenters' picks and put them in a parlay and cashed. So thank you guys for that. Keep it coming. I like that stuff. All right. Good luck, everybody. Enjoy the game. We'll see you next time.
Have a good one, guys. Good luck.